This is motherfucking California, aka baby Mexico. The jobs is hemmed up. The people at the jobs, the secretaries, the managers, the hiring managers, every fucking store I go into is Mexicans in there. It's no blacks, it's no whites, so stop telling me to go out and find a fucking job. You think they gonna hire me? Yeah, if Bijou, if that last name seems Hispanic.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I wanted to share this video with you. I know that this is nothing new hearing about what's going on when it comes to Latinos, Hispanics not hiring Black American people. This woman says that in Los Angeles they're not hiring Black American people, that they're gatekeeping. This is something that I've heard that's been happening in California, New Mexico, Texas, even Minnesota, which kind of surprised me, and parts of the East Coast. And it's not just with the Latino Hispanic community. I hear this about Indians, Asians, some Africans, and there are people who actually try to say, let me give an example. When I've heard of Black women in Miami being rejected from coming into an establishment, a club or something, because they'll say your skin is too dark, I will hear Black people say, oh, you should have known better than to go there, go to the Black side of town, trying to justify it. This is America. Okay, there are laws against discrimination. This is not the Jim Crow era. Okay, what was fighting for civil rights all about if you're going to let people come over to this country and treat you like that? Okay, my ancestors have been here for hundreds of years. My African ancestors, my European ancestors, and my Native American ancestors, all who founded and formed this country. So I don't know who, I'm not going to let foreigners come up over here and then treat me as if I'm the foreigner. You must be out of your damn mind. Okay. And this is America. There are literally laws against this, and I am not going to accept this type of treatment. And a lot are saying this is a country where you speak English. I cannot go over to a country that speaks Spanish or another language and make them speak English. You cannot do that. But in America, that's what's happening here. Okay. And I want to be quiet and share a few videos of what's going on, even in New York City. Now, look, Latinos are not all the same. I always say it's 50-50 when it comes to racism. You have Venezuelans, Colombians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, and Mexicans. A lot of times when I hear about these issues, I hear Mexicans brought up a lot. I said before that I used to hear them say mayate all over the place, which is the N word. And that was like 15 years ago, before all of this ICE stuff and all of that. I grew up seeing my people fight for Black and brown unity, and a lot of Hispanics did not want Black and brown unity. You have a splash who are not racist and don't have issues with Black people. I have some people in my family who are half Hispanic, but I would say it's damn near 70% of them, 70%, to be real with you, from what I've seen, largely from Mexicans and some other ones. It would be great for Black and brown unity, maybe one day, but it's not something that I would beg for. I think Black people need to focus on building up the race and making it better, okay? Supporting Black-owned businesses. So look, let me be quiet. Let's see what they're saying is going on, that Latinos in Los Angeles and some other places are discriminating against Black American people to have a job. Also, I'm going to keep it very real with you. Baby, we're in danger. We are in danger. Black people, you need to be able to predict the future. And if you have a large group of people, the so-called biggest minority, who a lot of them are very anti-Black, what do you think the future looks like for you in this country? Okay? I'm going to save that till the end of this video. Let's look at what's going on.
This is motherfucking California, aka baby Mexico. The jobs is hemmed up. The people at the jobs, the secretaries, the managers, the hiring managers, every fucking store I go into is Mexicans in there. It's no blacks, it's no whites, so stop telling me to go out and find a fucking job. You think they gonna hire me? Yeah, if Bijou, if that last name seems Hispanic, maybe it could get me through the door to an interview. But once my big lip Black ass come through that door, the job ain't for me. The job is for Francesca, for Maria, for they fucking people.
When it comes to the job market in LA or California, there's a huge discrimination issue going on with Black Americans. Employers are not willing to hire Black Americans even if they are qualified. Even if they're overly qualified, they're still not willing to hire them. There's a hidden agenda at play here. And it's been going on for quite some time that organizations started to pick this up and investigate it. There's an organization in Los Angeles called the Los Angeles Black Worker Center, where they're currently investigating the discrimination that Black Americans are facing in the job industry in Los Angeles. But they're also providing resources and access to better wages and opportunities. We've seen an increase of employers only wanting to hire people from the Hispanic community, and there's nothing wrong with that because people have to work and provide for their family, but they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it with the intention to control, because when it comes to fighting for injustices or speaking up about certain things, they feel like the Hispanic community is not going to speak up because they're normally quiet. And like we know, when it comes to fighting for injustices or speaking up, Black Americans are always on the forefront fighting for change. Black Americans are always the ones speaking up for everybody, fighting for change. But they feel like with the more Hispanics that they hire, it's easier to control them because some of the times they're undocumented, so they won't cause any problems. They can pay them less. They can mistreat them, disrespect them all they want. They're not going to cause any problems. And that's another issue at play. The other issue is that other people of color are not willing to speak up for Black Americans whatsoever. The only time they speak up to help Black Americans is when they see Black Americans have an advantage that they don't have. Take affirmative action, for example. When they believed that Black Americans were getting into Ivy League students based off affirmative action, when that really wasn't the case. The only time that other people of color speak up is when they see Black Americans have an advantage that they don't have. Otherwise, they are silent. It also seems like there's an issue to keep Black Americans at entry-level positions as well, and to bully them so they have a harder time moving up in the ranks.
You know what we don't talk about enough? Hispanic people being racist towards Black people, especially in the Bronx. If you know, you know. I'm a Black woman, and I've learned that I can't patronize Hispanic nail salons, hair salons, because when I walk inside, they're rude, they're nasty, they don't even want to talk to you. And they do that intentionally just so they won't get your service, or just so you won't be a customer. They don't want to serve you. They want to serve their own kind. And it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. How are you living amongst Black people and you don't like us? You're rude to us. We're coming into your place of business, spending our money, and you don't know how to smile. Hey guys, welcome in. How you doing? You want a manicure? You want a pedicure? No, none of that. You walk in and they don't even want to say shit.
Working in a predominantly Spanish club, the girls are not going to like you. Once they see like customers are more willing to go to you or choose you over them, they're going to start being jealous and they're going to do anything to take the customers. Like literally today I just got into a fight, like Black clubs only.
Who are working in my company. I'm a Black man. I own a company. I hire a Latino. The Latino comes back and complain about the African Americans because the Latino thinks because I'm African, I don't have any relationship with the African American. The Latino comes to me and tell me that you are an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. That African American cannot work. I have Jose, I have Gonzalez, my brothers who know how to work very well. You need to fire the African Americans and I will bring a lot of hardworking Latinos who work for your company. This is my company as a Black man. My company. I was a contractor at Quantico Marine Base in Virginia. A contractor for General Electrics. And the Latino workers that are hired, they are snitching on the African American workers that are hired for me to fire the African American.
Okay, so that is it for the video so far. I've looked through the comment sections and the things that I read in the comments is just heartbreaking. I mean, it's just a hot mess. It's a hot mess. And this is a very real problem. And Black people are in danger. You are, because I remember there was an article in a magazine, either Ebony or Essence, where they were taking a survey and they were asking mainly Mexicans who did they feel more closer to, who did they identify more with. And they said that they identified with white people in America, and white people said they identify more with Black American people, since we've been, side by side in the history. It's not always a perfect history, but we do have history here in this country. Look, like I said, they were saying the Mayate N word all in front of Black people. 15 years ago, I saw this. Very racist. Okay. I have met a sprinkle who are not, like I said, yeah, Mexican men can be very flirtatious. The women will stare you down. When the guy I was dating looked Mexican and he was not Mexican, so many of the women had the nastiest, meanest looks of disapproval. It was just horrible, horrendous. Okay, I would say 70% of them are very racist, anti-Black. So Black people, what do you think the future looks like when they outnumber you? It's not will they outnumber you, they do outnumber you. Okay, you keep thinking that you have all these issues with white people. What do you think it looks like when the biggest group in America are a group that's very openly anti-Black and are not hiring you? You're going to go through the same thing all over again, like the Jim Crow. Okay, Black people did push for Black and brown. I used to always see Black people when something would happen in politics or crime or something, Black and brown, Black and brown. But I don't often see the other brown people saying brown and Black when they speak. Okay, they're not all concerned with the interests of Black people. They don't want to join in with your community for various reasons, okay, for various different reasons, a number of them. So it's going to be an issue in the very near future, okay? Very near future when it comes to hiring, being able to get apartments. When they get in positions of power, whether that's HR or being a manager, they're not looking out for Black people. Okay, and if you tell Black people, if you are a manager or you are in HR, you need to look out for Black people, there will be people who will say, you're a racist, you're this and that. But yet every other group does this against Black people. If you want a job in the hotel business, a lot of it is run by Indian people, and they will not hire a Black person, a good portion of them. Okay. Now you do see Asians hiring Mexicans to work at the buffets and stuff and cooking food, but not often Black people. A lot of people do not want to hire Black American people. Some of them were already anti-Black. The things they read on the internet when Black people have big mouths and say a lot of stuff, and the position that we're in, they read that and they're like, oh, I'm not going to hire these Black people. They're saying to call ICE on us. They're calling this and that. But I find that a lot of Black people are responding. They're angry, they're sad, they're hurt, they're angry at the racism from other groups. So that's what's going on. And then they talk about it and respond back to it. But it's about who has the power, who's in the position of power. And a good portion of us are not always in them. And it's not looking good at all. So you need to, in my opinion, you definitely need to support a Black owned business. Okay. I hear about, oh, we need to get our own. Y'all say this every year. Okay. Yes, a lot of us have businesses in food service, maybe some clothing, but you don't see call centers and corporate type of businesses that we've started. And you probably ain't going to see that in a very, very long time, to keep it real with you, from what I'm seeing. So, look out for Black people if you're in a position to hire a Black person, and make sure they're qualified. If they don't want to show up to work on time, fire them. If they want to be lazy, fire them. Hire good workers, fire them, and then rehire another Black person. I don't agree with just hiring just any damn Black person. They need to be qualified. They need to actually work. Okay? They need to do their damn job. And if they don't, fire them and then go rehire another Black person until you get it right. And in some cases, I've seen people say, just F it, I just ended up hiring someone else. But just keep trying and keep pushing. But this is a message. When they don't want to hire you, give you a livelihood, this is a message. And some say, oh, well, things are hard for them. Of course they will look out for their own people. Look at how hard things are. Black people need to do the same. Okay, you can say that, but how many Black people are in those type of positions to even do what they're doing? A good portion. Okay, you do have a few, but it's not like what you want it to be. I think it's sad. I want to see a country where everyone can have a job and all people are getting hired and these type of things are not happening. So this is a short video. I want to know, have you gone through this? Have you seen this? What do you think about this happening in America in 2026, a country that is against discrimination? There are laws against discrimination, and this is happening. Okay. So let us know. And the lady who talked about going into the salons or something in New York City. New York, a lot of the Hispanics tend to be Puerto Rican and Dominican, but I did hear that there's a huge influx of Mexicans now in New York City. But I just find it interesting how you have so many Hispanic women in New York who have sex with black men, have kids with black men, but treat the women of their community like filth. It's disgusting to me. How can you act like this and your child literally has the DNA that came from his mother? Your child's grandmother and cousins and aunties are black women, but yet they're acting this way towards black women. Is absolutely disgusting. But you also have black men who give these women permission to disrespect the women of his race, because a lot of those black men also do not respect black women, and they allow that racism from these other groups of women. I cannot go into another community when I've dated interracially and disrespect the women from that man's race that I'm dealing with, but somehow that's allowed towards black women, and I find it absolutely disgusting. Okay, so I actually have to do something, so this is not a long video. Let me know what you think about all of this. This is just horrendous. And what do you think the future looks like? Can you predict the future with what you're seeing? And what is the solution? What are you going to do? Because you're outnumbered. Okay, this is not a game. You're outnumbered. There is no what if. No, you're outnumbered. You're outnumbered. They make more children. They work more together. You're outnumbered. So what is the solution to this issue? What is the solution you feel? Okay. And actually, before I go, I said again, this is an app that was founded by a black man, thousands of black owned businesses. Not only that, it's like a GoFundMe. If you need help with your bills, your car payments, anything you need help with financially, they also post it on the app and people donate to you to help you pay your rent or whatever it is that you need. Plus, thousands of black owned businesses are on this app. It's called the Mira app. You see it right here. Download it and you will see thousands of black owned businesses. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. What has been your experiences with Latinos and Hispanics? And name what ethnicity they are, because again, you have Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Colombians, Venezuelans, Mexicans, okay, Ecuadorians.